Welcome back to another episode of the Dial Podcast. I'm your host, DJ Scotty Two Dotty, and today we have some wisdom to discuss on this Wednesday. But before we get into that, as always, like, share, and subscribe. Share this channel, grow the channel, hit that like button, do all that good stuff so that we can get this channel growing and out into the world. And as you can see from the title, surrendering to your humanity. And I'm going to explain what that means throughout this video. Um, and without further ado, let's get right into it. So, God has been putting me through a season. He has been putting stuff through my heart, um, to my heart, and putting me in a frame of mind to be very reflective. I'm already a deep thinker and a reflector to begin with, but certain things are more evident than others that you have to sit and ponder and just be still, be um receptive and just listen to what God is saying to you. So I stumbled, well, and kind of give it more clarity. Like I said on this channel, I have declared this year is the year to be unrestricted. Now, to kind of give even more clarity, when I asked God for that, for that, I was just speaking to, be able to just, be able to DJ for a time, to be able to just um, make my own money, to be able to be unrestricted in that um, regard, not to work for nobody but myself. And I want to just give God the glory in this video because God is so versatile. He's not limited. Like my mind is was limited to just okay, I just want to make my own money and that's all that unrestricted means to me. And God said, okay, I'm gonna show you the totality of what unrestricted means. So to kind of explain what God is doing because I have petitioned the throne for him to allow me to be unrestricted this year. Well, I've always, not always knew, but pretty much since he's been um, notable or, famous author, sensei, um, man of God, Jason Wilson, shout out him. Very, very wise man, mixed martial artist. He has a he has a dojo in Detroit. If you guys don't know who that is, his name is Jason Wilson again. Look him up. He's my new mentor, pretty much. Even though I have not met him, he's one of the people I would love to meet. I feel like he has filled the shoes of Kobe that was left, and that's saying an awful lot. But if you know him, you know that he's very in tune with himself. He's very in tune with the word of God. He's very in tune with, as he say, being comprehensive. And I have stumbled across, his videos. And when he first got famous, like certain things kind of hit you and it's like wow, that's different, but like you kind of don't attach yourself to it because you're not in that season or you're not mature enough to really grasp the whole totality of what's being said. Because I have seen the video where his student was trying to break the board and couldn't and got overwhelmed and he calmed him down and he was able to break the board and just other videos because I follow him on Facebook too. So it's just other videos where like he share about being a comprehensive man and freeing yourself from masculinity. Not like fully, but just that's not the only thing a man is supposed to be is masculine. He's supposed to be a human being first before he steps into his masculine feature. and those are just features of a human being. And me discovering, like rediscovering him, God put it on my heart to, listen to, more than just a reel on Facebook, more than a TikTok, actually watch his interviews. And he's consistent with his message, with being comprehensive, and watching about 3, 4 hours worth of interviews, him on Joe Rogan, him on other people's podcasts. I started practicing. I started emulating what he's saying as far as just being comprehensive, being balance with yourself, as he say, being the knowing when to be the lamb and when to be the lion. And I feel like that was the first step in being in my step in surrendering to humanity, and meaning my humanity. And just seeing somebody being able to um communicate that in a way that anybody can comprehend. It's not in a fit of rage. It's not in a drunken stupor. It's not in a place and space to where it's not evident that, men need to do that. Men need to be able to express themselves without being judged. Men and human beings in general. I'm not just going to keep it there as far as just men, but um, human beings all have feelings. Um, Creatures, animals, they all cry. They all have emotions. So do men and just people in general. So that was my first initial invitation into surrendering to my humanity. That the discovering, fully diving into who Jason Wilson is, but also just life experiencing, experiencing life. Anybody who know me personally, anybody who has set time to have a conversation, not pertaining to work or not pertaining to DJing or the Lakers or just basketball or whatever the case may be, know know who I am as far as this, like, my pedigree. My pedigree um is my work ethic, my identity up until a certain point, up until really this week, was working hard. That was my bread and butter, working hard, not hardly working, making sure all bills are paid, making sure my wife is taken care of. When my daughter was in the picture, making sure that she's straight, never missing a day of work, never calling off, always giving my best effort, even if it's falling on blind eyes and deaf ears, always being being that go-to, always, 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 100% of the time, batting 1,000, shooting 100% from the free throw line in the field. That was my identity completely, because from where I sat up until this week, um, being human got you nowhere. Being able to just be a good person and just do right and to live your life naturally got you nowhere. Because I was submitting and surrendering to a fallacy. I was surrendering to something that is not sustainable. Something without substance is, you know, what I would categorize that. And I got to a point to where financially I ran out of road. You know, borrowing from XYZ, not people, but apps like you. We all know the current state of the United States. We all know that unless you're in a very, very small group, if you're not an athlete, if you're not a lawyer, doctor, if you're not a politician, um, even certain construction and railroad workers probably struggling, and their jobs is in jeopardy. But um, those few jobs that I named initially before I, name like construction workers and railroad workers, they have the utmost 100% job security. The railroad workers and the construction workers, they don't really have job security unless you're really senior, or tenured. But those who just came in the door really don't got job security. But my point being is, you do what you got to do. You get what's needed and you move along. Like, and you worry about when it's due later. If you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. And I had that mentality since 2017. Since my daughter came into this world, again, that's been my identity. That's been what um I just know how to do. Just make it happen. Don't worry about the details. Don't worry about the back end of it because it's always a back end. It's always but then this is always if you're doing, if you're borrowing from 8, 9 apps to make sure all your bills are paid because you're going through a season of somebody may have gotten laid off in your family, or you got laid off yourself, or you got more, as my mom would say, you got more month than you do money, and that's everybody that's outside of that certain class. And the way the way this president is swinging like that pen, is just getting stricter and stricter and more lawfully prejudiced across the board, and that's just the reality of the world, or the reality of the United States right now, and that's just something that we just gotta overcome and just wait and see. But to kind of get to like the point as far as this, you know, had a come to God moment that led me to submit to not only my humanity but surrender to God even more. Surrender my trust to God. All these things that you have. Think about your cars, your clothes, your house, your watches, your TVs. If you put it on a scale of importance, think about if you're married, think about your marriage. Think about your relationship with God or whatever you believe in, or whatever the case may be. Put that all on a scale and see what really matters. Or just line that up on the list of what's really important. Um, you will see that, if you are married and you're happily married, and you have a roof over your head, congratulations, you have won at life. You have overcame what the devil was trying to um, prevent you from doing. And that's being a head of a household, or being married, being a rib to your husband, or being a mother to like your kids, or being a father to your kids. Devil don't want that. The enemy don't want that. Negative energy don't want that. Whatever you believe in, bad or a bad energy, they don't want that for you, because it's it's substance. It's not a fallacy. It's actual factual of what the higher power, the most high, wants you to, be. And up until this week, I was so I identifying myself by making sure everything is taken care of. And I had to look myself in the mirror and say, I can only do so much. As good as I am at working hard and doing all these amazing things, DJing, um, all of these things, um, you know, it comes a point in time where you have to look yourself in the mirror and be like, you are human, right? You know, if this bill don't get paid, and let's just say they come and turn off the lights. Let's just say they come and repo the car or they evict you. As long as you have breath in your body, there's always redemption. I serve a guy who's a redeemer. I serve a guy who is a replenisher, a God that will always and forever and always give me a sevenfold blessing on anything that I think that I need or I think that I lost. That's all a poor perspective that we have, and it's hard to break that perspective because if if God stood before you and said, "Would you rather inherit what I have for you or keep your car?" It would be a no-brainer, I would believe, for most people. Or would you rather inherit what I have for you, or would you rather keep your apartment? Would you rather keep these lights on? Because any season that God puts you through, he's going to pull you through. He's going to make sure that you come out unscathed, and that having faith without being able to see what's next, that's the ultimate testament, the ultimate, you know, the ultimate test of what faith is. That is what faith is. That's faith in motion, walking towards the unknown with rejoice in your mind, rejoice in your heart, just knowing that, hey, man, hey, I'm covered. I'm 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 covered. I have won already. Having that I won already. I got this dub already mentality. I know that's easier said than done because people, when circumstances flood you, you kind of it's hard to submit to your humanity. It's hard to submit to God's will because of the fact that you got XYZ, to pay. Somebody probably sick in your household. Somebody probably just passed away in your household. And all of these things that's taking place, you feel so conflicted and just like, man, this is all happening right now. This is all happening, and I don't know what to do. And that's normal and something that I'm learning is to trust God's will also with surrendering to my humanity, surrendering to my shortcomings, surrendering knowing that I'm not a divine being, that I'm not um some superhero. I'm not straight out of a comic book. I have limitations, just like anything made by man has limitations. Your car, it's not gonna last forever. Your house can stand for 100, 200, 300 years, but a flood may come, a hurricane may come and wipe it off, its foundation. Things are futile. Things are not always going to stand the test of time. The only thing that would stand the test of time is time, is God's word in God. God is timeless. That's the only thing that will stand the test of time. So you have to um, understand that trials, tribulations are inherited by all humanity. You're gonna have situations where you're not gonna know what to do initially, but God is such an awesome God that He will send your ram in the bush. He would send signals. He would send somebody on his behalf and for your behalf as well to make things make sense. To give you that encouraging word to get through the storm, to give you the tools necessary. And speaking to Jason Wilson, he's my ram in the bush. He don't even know I exist. But me and countless other men and just people in general, um, he has helped. He has helped get us to the higher power. As far as just being like that bridge to help us get to where we need to be. And I'm I'm rejoiced. I'm really happy that I'm able to get this get to this point because I may be talking to somebody or maybe in a place and space for somebody to comprehend. That's why I drop these videos to give people wisdom and to call people to action, to put things in my best perspective possible. I don't have all the answers for humanity, but I'm on this human experience with you. So maybe something that I'm going through, you can comprehend. That's why I started this podcast to begin with. Of course, to showcase different sides of my personality, of course, to give you, the reaction videos and, this, that, and third, and different, breaking news and stuff that kind of moves my spirit. But these videos I have the most fun making because it's the most beneficial to people that come across it. And again, that's why I always say share, like, and subscribe to this channel, even though right now, um, present day, January 30th of 2025, it's only X amount of subscribers, it's X amount of views. That don't matter. um, Making the footprint and putting it out into the world is what's more important than anything that anything that will come eventually from what I'm doing, because God is using me um, to preach his message and preach my human experience to somebody. Somebody needs to hear this, so I'm just elated. I'm glad that through DJing, through personal experiences, through all these things that has transpired in just 30 days, like 30 days, God is saying, okay, cool, we finna unrestrict you. We finna get you together. We gonna get you to where you needs to be. And I know God is, like I said, He's a redeemer. He's a God of purpose. His word will always come back valid, never void. And I'm grateful to like know that. And along with submitting and surrendering to your humanity, get into whatever biblical or spiritual realm as far as biblical text or meditation. Dive deep into that. That will also help you surrender to your humanity, and understand that we all fall short. I just learned about the 12 apostles of Jesus, regular people called to do extraordinary things. I just learned that Jesus was betrayed for 30 pieces of silver, price of a slave back then. 30 pieces of silver. And Judas tried to return the 30 pieces of silver after he saw Jesus was crucified. And they told him, what are we going to do with this? That's why he felt so guilty and he hung himself. We all fall short. We all do immoral things. We all put all this um unbeknownst, unethical, unholy amount of pressure on ourselves. And I'm grateful God spoke to me. He allowed different resources to be um, put into place so that I can see it, so that I can comprehend that, hey, let it go, my child. Let go this sense of feeling like you have to control everything, feeling like everything has to um operate on not just my time, but just operate in a place and space that's practical, like, or that's, in a place and space that would make sense only towards me, and um it's a lot to unpack from just that, but that's part of the submission to your humanity, knowing that you are a human and God is God, and God is God all by Himself, and you are an individual. You are a one-on-one human being all by yourself. But with that, it's the difference between God and you as a individual. You have limits. God is no limit. So um, I'm definitely glad that God gave me this platform and this time out of my day to express this to you guys. So I'm challenging you guys to look over y'all life, look at your current situation. Your rent might be due, and you may not know, man. Hey, I don't know how I'm gonna, pay this, or you may have just moved into like your apartment, and rent due all already. Like, man, we just moved in the beginning of December, rent already due. And I don't know if I can figure it out. Leave it at the feet of God. Leave it at the throne of God. Submit to your humanity. Submit to the fact that you don't have it all together, and that's okay. It's okay to be human. That's something that should be on the t-shirt. It's okay to be human. People may laugh, people may be like, see, I told you so. You don't have it all together, and this, that, and third, and you should have listened to this advice and that advice. Yeah, hind, hindsight bias is always gonna be a thing because people feel like they predicted the future. It's been things that may have been right or wrong, that I have gotten right or wrong. Is this what it is? But we all are guilty of hindsight bias because now that we have the partial or if not all the evidence, now we can say, this is why it didn't happen. It didn't happen because it wasn't God's will. It don't matter if we thought it was or wasn't gonna happen. If it's not God's will, it didn't happen, and that's that. So there is no big, you know, um thought that needs to be processed. Is this was not God's will. That's it. That's all. There is no rebuttal. There is no, well, it's because I told you so. It was not God's will. So um I leave you guys on that note. Um I pray something was said. I pray something was received from this Wisdom Wednesday. And again, y'all like, share, y'all subscribe, y'all make sure that y'all do what y'all need to do to get this message across the internet, across these platforms, the ones that still active, or pending activity. But regardless, even if you don't like, share, even if you didn't get this far to this video, I thank you for clicking on this video. I thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, and be kind. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, be kind to your human experience. And you will see more than your eyes can see. It would bring tears to your eyes. You would be elated. You would be overjoyed. You'd be crying just because you're so happy. That's what that's that spirit. That's that Holy Spirit. That's God's grace. And I pray that everybody experience God's grace and God's presence throughout y'all week. So again, this is DJ Scotty 2 Dotty. If I didn't say that at the beginning of this video, I felt like I just got on and got to it. But again, this is DJ Scotty 2 Dotty. If I didn't say that all already, this is the Dot Line Podcast. And again, I'm DJ Scotty 2 Dotty. I'm signing off. Peace.